We can use the sequence call step to call another sequence in the current sequence file or in another sequence file. In this video, we will add a sequence call step to computer2 sequence file we have been using in previous few tutorials. So let's start by loading our workspace. Next, let's load computer2 sequence. Next, let's go to insert palette and then let's select power on, because we would be inserting sequence call after this step. So let's right click and insert step. Let's rename it. So let's place it after power on, and let's rename it and let's call it CPU test. Next, let's connect it to a sequence. Let's browse and let's select CPU sequence. Let's press open. Let's check that in the module tab we have main sequence set as the sequence. Let's save the changes. Once this is set, let's go to the step and double click it so that the CPU sequence opens up. The main sequence of the CPU sequence files open up. So let's go to execute and let's select run a main sequence so that we can recognize it later when we execute the computer2 main sequence of which this is a part, so that we can recognize that these steps are coming from the CPU sequence file sub step that we have added. Let's close this window and the CPU sequence as well. Let's go to execute and select single pass. Let's select some tests to fail. Let's click OK. So now our CPU tests that we just added are now executing, and then we are back into the main sequence. The for loop for the video test executed, and now we are done and we are being presented with a report. So the test failed as we had done it on purpose. And then we can see that we diverged into the CPU sequence sub-step that we had added in this tutorial, and these are the tests from that new sequence. And then we are back into the main sequence. So let's close the execution window, and we are done with this tutorial.